Good morning. This is probably the only church in the world that starts its call to worship with the Doobie Brothers. But you on YouTube can't hear it, so sorry. In fact, you don't hear any of our music that we play, and that's half the fun around here. The rest of it is hearing people talk. Okay, I guess that's the other part. I don't know. Happy New Year. Did everyone have a good Christmas? Spend just enough time with the family and plenty of time. They're still here. Oh, okay. As she says with this look, oh, another week. One smiling, one not so much. Oh, and they've been here for 2 weeks. Okay. A husband and wife, I'm going to get in trouble for this one, but that's okay. A husband and wife are shopping in the local supermarket. The husband picks up a case of Budweiser and puts it in their cart. What do you think you're doing? Asks the wife. Well, they're on sale. $10 for 24 cans, he replies. Put them back, we can't afford that, demands the wife. So they carry on with shopping. A few aisles later, further on along, the woman picks up a $20 jar of face cream and puts it in the basket. What do you think you're doing? Asks the husband. Well, it's my face cream. It makes me look beautiful, replies the wife. When her husband retorts, well, so does 24 cans of Budweiser, and it's half the price. That's him on aisle 5, the one that he never knew would hit him. So, yeah. Yep. Hey, Erlene, you want to talk about your Reiki class?
Hi, my name is Erlene Prickett, and a lot of people know me here, come here, know me well. Others of you know me as the lady who sits back there and listens and participates in church. I am a Reiki master. I'm a spiritual medium. I read tarot cards. I'm certified oneness blessing giver lady, I guess you'd call it. And I'm going to have a teach a Reiki class beginning the 10th of January, which is a Friday, from 2:30 to 4 in the afternoon. And it'll be held at the clubhouse in my subdivision. And I wanted to make sure that anyone here in the congregation had the opportunity to come if you'd like to. Reiki is a holistic healing energy modality, I guess is the best way to talk about it. It's very, very powerful, and I don't know what else to say about it unless somebody else has a better explanation. And I have a clipboard here with a pen, and so I'd like to pass it around, and anyone who's interested, please sign up, and I'll be sending out directions for how to get to my subdivision before the class. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. We were asked if there was an easy way to donate to the church today. And we go, sure, you just go to our website and there's a link right there. We went to the website and the link's not there. So I don't know what happened to it. We'll have to figure that one out. So, actually, it's surprising, you know, I know of churches that are way older than we are and a lot bigger, and they don't have live broadcasts, they don't have a website, I guess they're just not connected at all. So, I don't know, but interesting. Okay, we do have a couple patron saints though by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon.
Yay, George and John.
And if anybody has any further quotes that they would like to hear other than the same ones that I just kind of keep repeating, you're free to help me find those. John Lennon, I believe in God, but not as one thing, not as the old man in the sky. I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. I believe that what Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and all the rest was right. It's just that the translations have gone wrong. Amen to that. George recently went to the new doctor and noticed he was located in something called the professional building. I felt better right away. Are we going to have fun for New Year's Eve? Do something? Hey, first night. Any ever been to first night for New Year's? It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. They're doing it this year at the Toyota Convention Center. So should be all under one roof. Don't have to go from building to building. Although it looks like the weather is going to be at least okay this year. So. The custom of making X's at the end of letters to represent kisses grew out of the medieval legal practice. In order to show good faith, the sign of St. Andrew was placed after the signature on important papers. The sign was the letter X. Contracts were not considered legal until each signer included St. Andrew's sign after their name. Blech. Then he was required to kiss it to guarantee his obligation. Through the centuries, this custom faded out, but people associated the letter X with a kiss, and it is still being used that way today. Now you know. Where did who?
Where did hugs come from?
I don't know. Where did hugs come from? Guess we'd keep trying. Huh? Do what? Hugs. Yeah. Yeah. Kisses we just knew. Hugs, who knows? I guess it's because the O surrounds the X maybe. Sounds good. Sounds good. French sculptor Frédéric Bartholdi's original design for the Statue of Liberty, called Egypt Carrying the Light of Asia, was intended to be placed in Port Said, Egypt, to commemorate the completion of the Suez Canal. Huh. So we were an afterthought. And thank you very much for that. Absolutely. After a certain age, the more one becomes oneself, the more obvious one's family traits become. Darn. There are people whose watch stops at a certain hour and who remain permanently at that age. I think that happened to me, a long time ago. Back when I had hair and beards and big buckles for cowboys and all that kind of stuff. So most of you don't know. Actually, it's funny because we get friends and other people together and we start reminiscing a little bit and they go, "You did what?" I did a lot of "you did what" in your lifetime. So my husband and I divorced over religious differences. He thought he was God and I didn't. I don't suffer from insanity. I enjoy every minute of it. Some people are alive only because it's illegal to kill them. I used to have a handle on life, but it broke. Dum, 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 dum. Ooh. A cat has 32 muscles in each ear. Did you know that? 32. It has to be true. It's from the internet. So, a crocodile cannot stick out its tongue, but who cares? A dragonfly has a lifespan of 24 hours. A goldfish has a memory span of 3 seconds. I understand that one too sometimes. A jiffy is an actual unit of time for 1/100th of a second. I'm not positive about that, but sounds good. Yeah, I like it too. It works. If anybody can dispute that, please do. The huge. Oh, okay. Let me start at the beginning of that one, or the end of it. Where'd it go? There it is. In ancient times, a king had a boulder placed on a roadway. Then he hid himself and watched to see if anyone would remove the huge rock. Some of the king's wealthiest merchants and couriers came by and simply walked around it, many loudly blaming the king for not keeping the roads clear, but none did anything about getting the stone out of the way. Then a peasant came along carrying a load of vegetables. Upon approaching the boulder, the peasant laid down his burden, tried to move the stone to the side of the road. After much pushing and straining, he finally succeeded. After the peasant picked up the load of vegetables, he noticed a purse lying in the road next to the boulder, next to where the boulder had been. The purse contained many gold coins and a note from the king, indicating that the gold was for the person who removed the boulder from the roadway. The peasant learned what many of us never understand. Every obstacle presents an opportunity to improve our condition. I hate that, but it's true. But it is true.
That don't seem to do
They all do something. Just might not be able to figure it out, darn it. So, Moses in the Red Sea. 9-year-old Joey was asked by his mother what he had learned in Sunday school. Well, Mom, teacher told us how God sent Moses behind enemy lines on a rescue mission to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Then he got to the Red Sea. He had his army build a pontoon bridge and all the people walked across safely. Then he radioed headquarters for reinforcements. They sent bombers to blow up the bridge and all the Israelites were saved. Now, Joey, is that really what your teacher taught you? His mother asked. Well, no, Mom. But if I told you what the teacher really said, you'd never believe it. That's it. Anything else? There's another big board up here. Oh, is that for Josie? You want to talk about that? Okay. Am I good? I even noticed that.
Without sitting on it.
Without sitting on it. Yeah. There you go. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay. Hi. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. What I want to do is help you have a really great New Year. So we're going to do dream boards again this year on January 1st. And some of you haven't made dream boards before, some of you have. So I want to talk a few minutes about what I think that process means to me. I've been doing it, this is almost shameful to admit this, but close to 25, 35 years, somewhere in there. And it has really been inspiring for me. So this isn't about just putting pictures on a board. This is really about thinking what you want to have happen in 2014 and a way to have pictures that represent those things. Thank you. So in the instructions, I suggested that you come up with 100 things to put down on a sheet of paper that you might want to be, that you want to do, or you want to have. And how many of you think that would be easy? Wow. It is easy. Once you get to thinking about it, if you'll read these 7 questions I have on the sign-up, or behind the sign-up sheet, it will inspire you to think of things you want to be. So let me give you some ideas. Do you want to be more peaceful? Would you like more joy in your life? Would you like a closer connection with Source? Would you like to have the right words to say to someone in grief? So these are all types of things that I put on my board. Let me show you a couple boards. There's also pictures in the back on the clipboard. These are a couple of the boards. So for me, the center of my board, no matter what it is, has something to do with where this comes from. Where does what I want to have happen in my life really come from? And I think it comes from Source. So for me, this all-seeing eye is saying that everything here comes from Source. On this one, it's the candle that lights my way. Maybe it's on this one. This is hard to see, but there's a light at the end of this tunnel. That's not crossing over to me.
Good to know.
There's going to be a light at the end of my tunnel. So no matter what hardships I'm going through, there's always light coming. That's what that represents to me. This is my board for this year, and I decided to do it this way so I can set it on my dresser like this. I could also turn it over and turn it the other way, so I have a little more room. There's also other examples in back. I want to tell you a story about one of the gals here that we got together, and then I used to be in a mastermind group almost all the time, and that's a group that gets together that plans their goals, and you have weekly goals that you're going to do based upon what's on this list of 100 things or more. And I want you to know when you get started on that, 100 is going to come really easy. There's about 250 things on my list right now. But what this gal did is she got busy and she got up to 120 or something real easy. And then she lost her list. And about 9 months later, she found her list. And I said, okay, how many things on that list are accomplished? And she said, do you know almost 75 or 80% of the things on that list I've done? And I said, okay, what if you hadn't made the list? And she said, I wouldn't have hardly done any of them. So to me, it's the thinking about what we want that really brings us into action. And mastermind groups really help you move towards that because you're going to think about them every week and be able to take one step towards those things. So for me, I take my list and I divide it into 6 areas of my life, and those are on that sheet of paper too that we're going to pass around. And if you didn't get one last week, take one this week. And so it's home and family, spiritual experiences, health. I'd have to read what it says right now. Okay, here we are. So one group is spiritual growth and service. One group is family, home, and relationships. Then business, career, financial, and possessions. And then intellectual and educational growth. Then health, physical appearance, personal and emotional growth. And then social and recreational. So I divide all those things on my list down to those groups. And I pick 2 from each of those groups, at least 2. And to me, that's what I'm going to find pictures for my board. Those are the most important things to me right now. Doesn't mean that the rest of the things on that list aren't important. It's just right now, I think I'm going to focus on those 2 things in each group. So I hope you join us on January 1st. Mike and Mary are usually here every year. Bob and Dottie come. Lori comes. And Daryl. Let's see. We're going to do this from 10 to 3 on January 1st, Wednesday. And we're going to have a potluck at noon. So bring what you want to add to the potluck and come and have fun. There's also a list of supplies that you need to bring for your board. The church is going to provide the board. You have to provide your supplies. So anybody with a lot of magazines, please bring them. But think about what you want and then find the pictures. Don't just go look for pictures and then decide if that's what you want. So it's really that thinking about it ahead of time. So I'm going to send the sign-up sheet, and all that's for is to let us know how many boards we need. So we hope to see you here on the 1st. Have a great new year.
Thank you, Josie. No, don't sign it twice. Just sign once. Also, at the same time the dream boards are being made, we're going to have an opportunity for you to do the Circle of Life. Remember Dan McDonald walked us through that process where you face the different directions and you got some spiritual insights. A lot of people love that and wanted more of that. So he's going to be set up in this back room back here, and we'll walk you through that process either as a group or individually, whatever works for you. So, and he suggests wearing comfortable clothes because you may want to sit on the floor. You don't have to, but if you do, then be comfortable in that process.
People that are not here today or don't know this is going to go on.
Yes, invite others, because this is a wonderful opportunity for people to just get a taste that there's more to spirituality than you should. So this is our opportunity to share that with others and give them an opportunity to see something different. Any questions on any of that?
And for anyone that's a little more squirrel inclined, I don't do rules really well, but this still works for me because I just kind of, ooh, pretty picture, and it works even not having all of your intent.
Do you want to talk about yours while you're standing here? Why don't you?
Okay.
Let's just do. Phil added, because Phil's squirrel, and he added a little section to my dream board. So it's a community dream board. And so tell them about that, Mr. Phil.
Well, it was just, my focus and goal last year was to try to promote electric cars and solar energy. And I didn't know what it was going to look like or how that was going to work. But in January, after I did that, I had the opportunity to start Solarize Mid-Columbia. And in fact, we doubled the solar output of the Mid-Columbia with solar panels. So, I mean, highly successful campaign. And, so...
You're the man. You're the man.
It was just, and again, it's just odd how everything really works. And this happens every year. We look back on what we did last year and we go, holy smokes, how did that work? But it does. So you don't have to be quite as diligent as most people are.
Some would say it's magic.
Yep.
All right, so Mr. Phil, you have a song for us, my dear.
You want to put that down?
I will. I can do that. This I
Sing
can
a
do.
song that I don't believe we have ever done before.
Stay.